Right, good evening. Okay, thank you very much. And good evening to everybody, all the viewers tonight. And thank you for taking the time to join us on this lovely evening. So I'm going to just take a little bit of your time to explain about what we do at Broku ECF Pitch. Shouldn't be too long. And so after that, if you have any questions, just fire away in the chat so that I can see them, and then I'll address the questions as it comes in. Okay, so just give me a second. Let me share my deck. Okay. So hopefully everyone can see that.
Yeah, can see, no problem.
Fantastic. All right. So again, my name is Nizran. I'm actually the VP at Broku ECF Pitch, especially heading our financial services arm, which is called Broku Capital. So Broku was our company was founded and by our founder, Ku Eddie Fazli Kuradin, or more famously known as Broku. So Broku started the company in 2020, and we are a solutions provider for MSME companies in Malaysia, micro, small and medium enterprise companies, specifically focusing on the F&B industry. So why are we targeting this industry? So you just take a look at some statistics from the Statistics Department and Securities Commission. So, you know, in Malaysia, over 97% of all business establishments are actually MSMEs, to the tune of just over 1.2 million. And these MSMEs contribute up to 39% of our nation's GDP. And they also contribute up to 48% of all jobs provided in our workforce, a total of just over 7.5 million out of 15 million, over 15 million jobs that are out there. But recent reports have suggested that some of these MSMEs, they are facing to the tune of, a funding gap to the tune of 90 billion, which means that a lot of these SMEs are operating without basically enough capital, and they find it difficult to get access to credit, to get access to financing, especially from financial institutions like banks and even grants from Malaysian government. So why is this so? It's evident that these MSMEs are the backbone of the nation, contributing to largely to our economic development, but yet they are sort of underserved in terms of getting financing in the market. So according to this recent article that was published by The Edge a few weeks ago, actually, in January, 22nd January, according to this article, it says that micro enterprise owners who are applying for a loan to expand the business would find it near impossible task due to the lack of collateral and inconsistent cash flow, as well as poor bookkeeping. And the article goes on to share that a study that was done by SME Bank, which is called the SME Sentiment Index, back in 2022, they did a survey out of a sample of about 3,000 MSME businesses, and from the survey they found out that the top three challenges that these MSMEs are facing are number one is attracting and retaining customers, which is due to increasing competition and increasing consumer choices, especially in the F&B sector. The second is the cost of doing business as a result of increase in in the price of raw materials, increase in the price of labor, as well as advertising. And this is magnified even further, especially after the COVID-19 pandemic era. And thirdly, the challenge, one of the third challenge that they are facing is actually lack of access to financing, which is based on the reasons that's highlighted in this article. But we at Broku, as far as we are concerned, the root cause of these challenges that they are facing, and the lack of access that they are getting in terms of financing, which results in the funding gap, is actually a lack of business, marketing, and financial knowledge and literacy. So that's as a problem statement, if you like. And so for us, over the last 4 years, what we've done is sort of to try and educate the MSME industry in terms of increasing their level of knowledge in order to run the business. So, but what we find actually in our experience over the last 4 or 5 years is that it's not enough for us to just simply, give them training, give them coaching programs, and, transfer of knowledge, because the nature of these MSMEs and another data that is not shown, actually, out of the 97% MSMEs that are in Malaysia, over 75% of them are actually at the micro level. So over 900,000 businesses are actually at the micro level. And at this level, mostly the owners of these business are running the business themselves. So they lack the time in terms of handling their own marketing and handling their own financial situations. So for us, it's not enough for them to just be guided. So we have actually created a solution, an integrated solution that is designed to empower these merchants with resources and services that has that has 3 key objectives, which is number 1, to generate more revenue for their business. Secondly, is to streamline or to simplify their operations. And finally, is to accelerate their business growth and success. So what we have created is what we call the Broku platform. And with this platform, essentially, there are 3 components that we are offering. So the first part is a program, which is a business enhancement program called Broku Licensing Program, BLP for short. And this is a sort of an incubation program and a knowledge-based program. And we provide things like skills training, data analytics, as well as technological support in order for them to run their business more efficiently, more effectively, to run the management and operation. So Broku Licensing Program is designed to increase the knowledge of these entrepreneurs, these MSMEs, so that they are better equipped in order to run the business. Second component is a digital marketplace, and this addresses the revenue portion to increase the revenue. And it is a listing platform, much like if you are familiar with Agoda.com, which is a listing platform for travel sites, or Carsome, which is a listing platform for used cars. So Broku.com is a listing platform that is designed to consolidate and to list all the F&B businesses that are in the country. So from research, we found out that when somebody wants to go out to find a food establishment, especially when you're traveling to other states and you want to look for places to eat, over 85% of consumers actually refer online. Either they go on Google or one of the other platforms to find places to eat. So if a business or a merchant does not have a presence online, they basically lose out on a significant portion of these consumers. So Broku.com is intended to be a listing platform, but it is more than just a listing platform. It is also a marketing tool for these entrepreneurs, and that provides the merchants with strong online presence, and we offer marketing strategies that is designed to drive traffic to the establishments. So for example, we have 14 or 15 different strategies, one of them being a strategy that we call free meals. And all these strategies have been tested by us, tried and tested over the last 4 or 5 years. And these are strategies that has proven to drive traffic and bring consumers to the restaurant. So a strategy that we call free meals is essentially quite a simple strategy where if you want to participate in this listing platform, one of the terms and condition is that we require every restaurant to provide on a daily basis, for example, like 10 free meals, on the platform. So to offer 10 free meals on the platform where the consumers can come in on a first come, first serve basis to claim this offer. So if you can imagine, there are, like 50,000 restaurants that are listed on the platform at any one time, and each of them offering 10 free meals per day. In a month, we will have around 15 million free meal offers that are available on the platform for the consumers to claim. And this strategy alone, of course, when a consumer claims a promotion like this, more often than not, they won't come by themselves, but they will come with, family members or friends and things like that. So this kind of strategy is proven to drive traffic, to bring in consumers to the establishment, which is something exactly what F&B entrepreneurs and merchants need. So we have 15 different strategies that and marketing tools that we will employ on this platform. And thirdly, and probably most importantly, is Broku Capital, component Broku Capital, which is the financial services arm of the platform. And this is again to address that funding gap issue that we have currently in the market. So under Broku Capital, we offer a comprehensive suite of sort of financial-based products and services that are designed specifically for these MSME companies because of the fact that they are not able to access credit from the local banks and other financial institutions. So the objective is to be able to provide them easy access to capital and credit in terms of achieving sustainability and profitability and growth. So Broku licensing program is business enhancement incubation program. So essentially what the merchants get when they join this program. So we have created over the last 4 or 5 years a specialized F&B business operations training module that was designed by our team of F&B expert. I myself has been in the F&B line hospitality line for over 20 years. But in our team, we have a team of over 40, almost 50 now, the team members, and some of them are expert in their fields. So we have food production specialists, we have F&B services operations specialists, we have online digital marketing specialists, Facebook ad specialists, TikTok specialists, and people like that. And we have designed a specialized module, a training module for these merchants to follow. And it is a 12-month program where we teach them all the fundamental elements that they need in order to run their business. So we teach them in terms of from the operational side of things up to the marketing and branding activities, from human resource management to financial management, and finally to monitoring and reporting and also data and analytics. And these merchants, when they join the program, they will have access to a learning management system that we have built ourselves. It's a mobile app called My Broku. So on this system, they will be able to access all the resources that they need in order for them to get all the knowledge that they require to run the business. So we have all our training. We have hundreds and hundreds of training videos that are on the platform, and we have all segmentized according to the topics: operation, marketing, human resource, and so on. And at the same time, they have access to sort of documentations. What are the documentations that they need in order to run the business? Things like, when you hire a team member, you would need a template for a contract employment agreement template. So we have that on the platform. And then to run a successful food production management, you would need to have your standard recipe template formats, and you need to have your SOP of your restaurant. So we have all those, hundreds of templates that are online, that are on the mobile app that they can access at any time and from anywhere. On top of that, they will also have access to our support team in terms of customer support. If they need to troubleshoot any issues that they are facing in the business. So we have our expert team of customer service to help them with that. And a crucial aspect of this program, which sets us apart from other such programs in the market, is the monitoring and reporting element that is in the program. So each merchant, when they sign up onto the program, they are assigned to one of our business manager, which is in touch with them on a daily, weekly, or even monthly basis. So every month we collect all their performance data in terms of their revenue, in terms of the number of customers that they serve, and so on. And through this data, we teach them on how to use data in terms of making decisions in their business. So a lot of these micro entrepreneurs, they are not, they don't have the knowledge in terms of data usage. So there are hundreds and hundreds of data points when you run a business, especially an F&B business. But at the moment, a lot of them, a significant portion of them are not using data in terms of helping them make critical decisions in their business. So we teach them this, we guide them, and essentially we use this data to advise them on the best way that they would employ their resources in their business. So Broku.com, again, is a digital marketplace to drive traffic and to generate more revenue. So there are two sides to this platform. So on one side are the merchants who, they have to register onto the platform, and consumers, they come in and they enjoy all the benefits, such as all the offers, all the marketing promotions that are offered by these merchants. And Broku Capital, as I mentioned, is a financial services arm. Again, part of one of the functionalities of the services is the data analytics that we provide in terms of how these merchants are able to employ their resources, their financial resources effectively and efficiently. So essentially, Broku platform is an ecosystem that is designed as a centralized hub, and we, to facilitate all the related tasks, including bookings and ordering, payment system, data analytics, as well as communication between the operators, the merchant, the restaurants, and the consumers. So this ecosystem, actually, we have sort of started back in March of last year, March of 2023, and we launched a phase one, or what we call a proof of concept stage for this BLP program. And we launched it with a select group of 50 restaurants around Malaysia. So at the moment, up to date, we have 120 restaurants already signed up to this program. And so the success rate of these merchants, once they join the program, on average, by the second or third month of having joined this program, having gone through the trading module, our success rate is up to 86% of merchants that have experienced an increase in their revenue or growth in their revenue. So how much increase in their revenue? On average is around 35 to 40%. There are some merchants who has experienced up to 70 or 80% growth in their revenue once they employ all the strategies, marketing strategies that we teach them. But on average, their revenue increase is around 35 to 40%. And cumulatively, up to date, we have increased the total revenue of all these restaurants up to the tune of 3.5 million from the level of revenue that they were generating before they joined the program. And so the crucial aspect, like I said, of this program is the tracking and the monitoring and the reporting part. So this is a snapshot of our monthly data tracking for the restaurants. So you can see we track the data on a month-to-month basis. So in the phase one of this program, we basically track very basic sort of performance data, which is their revenue, and the number of customers that they get every month, every week, every month, and so on. So and the value, actually we are teaching them the value of this data and how to measure it and how to actually make informed decisions based on the data that we collect. So in the words of legendary management guru Peter Drucker, what gets measured gets improved. So over the last 4 or 5 years, we have very good track record. We have hundreds and hundreds of businesses that has benefited from our program. This is just an example of some of our top performing F&B merchants. So I'm not sure whether you've heard of any of them. So a lot of our clientele, actually, or about 80% or just over 80% of our customers are actually F&B business which are outside of Klang Valley. So around 20% of them are in Klang Valley, because these are the businesses that needs the most in terms of guidance and knowledge. So we have restaurants like the Smart Kimbong, which is in Bangi. So before they joined us, sales before was 300. Once they joined our program, in a short period of about 3-4 months, we managed to increase their sales up to 800,000. Another example is Asam Pedas, London, which is near Selayang, if not mistaken. So when they joined us, the sales level was about 100,000 a month. Now it's more than 250,000. I think it's close to about 300,000 per month. And these are just by employing very simple marketing strategies, especially digital marketing strategies online, using specific contents to attract specific customers to come to the business. And if some of you have heard of Pakuan Pontianak, a restaurant that is in Jalan Gedi in Kuala Lumpur. So this business, actually, when they came to us, this owner came to us, they were probably about 2 to 3 weeks away from actually closing their business down. So they suffered tremendously from the COVID pandemic. And they lost a lot of customers, and and they were heavily in debt. So when we came to us needing help, they were about a few weeks away from closing down. So we helped them using the resources that we had in terms of a lot of other restaurants in our community came in to help, provided a little bit of capital for them, and we sort of used a viral marketing strategy to help them. So usually we don't really employ sort of viral marketing strategies online, because this sort of strategy is basically a double-edged sword. So it either can really blow the business up in terms of the awareness, but it can also adversely impact negatively if it's not used properly. But in this guy's case, they were a little bit desperate. They were heavily in debt, like I mentioned, so we had to do something immediately. So we did a viral marketing strategy for them. So initially, when they came to us, the name was not Pakum Pontianak. It was the owner's name is Bobby, so it was Gempak by Bobby, something like that name. So what we advised them was actually to do a 360-degree change in their business. So we came out with a name, and we completely redesigned the outlet. We redesigned the entire menu, basically playing to the current trend, the market trend at that time. And we created a whole content strategy online. And in a short period of about the first month, once we launched that viral marketing campaign, the revenue shot up. I think it was about 80 or 90,000 in the first month. And that basically gave them the resources to sort of, they managed to pay off their debt, and they had a little bit of funds left to sort of kickstart back the operation. So now they're doing very well. I think they are doing consistently over 100,000 a month, and they are actively looking for a location to open up their second and third outlet. So these are some of our success stories. Like I said, we have been doing this for the last 4 or 5 years, and we have thousands, in fact, of these sort of feedback and testimonials. So basically, we have the data to show that the program that we are offering to the market, to these MSMEs, programs that has proven to work. So how do we make money? So our business and revenue model for the Broku licensing program, which is the business enhancement program, there are 3 phases to this program. So right now we are in the middle of phase 1. So we launched back in April 2023. So in phase 1, the merchants who are participating in this program, they pay us a monthly fee of 900 ringgit. And what they get is basically, as I mentioned just now, is the training module that we have created for them. They have access to the mobile application, the LMS, and they have access to our customer support, our tech support, as well as advisory in terms of all the technology that they need to use. So we have partnered up. We have strategically partnered up with a few different technology providers, for example, like POS systems, customer management systems, inventory management systems. So these the merchants have access to our partner products, obviously at much better rates than if they were to approach it themselves. And in phase 2 that we're actually launching by this coming March, by next month, we are moving to a more value-added program whereby they would be paying 1,900 ringgit a month. So for this, they will get all the training modules and the support that they get from the phase 1, but we also include the marketing services, because as I mentioned earlier, most of the micro enterprises where the owners are themselves running the business, they really don't have time. So even with all the knowledge that's been transferred to them during the seminars, during our training program, they would have to go back and sort of execute all these strategies themselves, all the online strategies, the online ads, Facebook ads, and things like that. They will still have to execute it themselves. So essentially, what they need is for someone to do it for them. So in phase 2, is when we value add to this program, when we add the marketing services and we actually do the ads for them. We do the ad campaign management for them. Of course, the budget for the ad itself is by themselves, but our team of online experts, our designers, our content creators will actually help them create the content for them. And finally, in phase 3 that we are planning to launch by the end of the second quarter of this year is basically the final iteration of the product. So in phase 3, not only they get the training module, the support module, and the marketing services, but one of the main issue that we are faced normally with these type of businesses is that, you know, even though they are able to do their own sort of marketing campaigns, but a lot of them struggle when it comes to the budget itself. You know, so as you know, marketing costs over the last 5 years has gone up tremendously. Even doing ads on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, you know, has because everyone's, you know, all the big companies are doing marketing campaigns online. So the cost of doing ads online has gone up over the last 5 years. So a lot of these micro enterprises kind of struggle to find the budget. So in phase 3, we actually provide them with the marketing funds if they need it. So up to a maximum of 20,000 per month on ads budget. So these are funds that will be spent on the Meta platform, on TikTok, on YouTube, and so on. But the ads, the budget itself is we don't there's no transfer of funds, so we don't transfer the funds to the merchants for them to use, but instead the budget is deployed by us. So essentially, we will be spending that marketing budget for them. And as a merchant, what they get every month at the end of the month is they get a summary of all the billing, what is being spent on Facebook, for example, on Instagram, on TikTok, and so on. So we actually deploy the funds ourselves based on our expertise. For Broku.com, which is the digital marketplace, it will basically go on a subscription-based model. So there are 2 sides. On the merchant side, there will be a listing fee of something around 49 ringgit, under 50 ringgit a month as a listing fee, sort of like a rental space for the space to list their business. And on the user side is just a small subscription fee of something like 3 to 4 ringgit a month. And this is very similar to the model being used in sort of a Grab, if you're a user of Grab. So initially, when Grab started their delivery service, they didn't charge a user anything. So you could go on and claim all the promotions. You know, they were giving out voucher codes like nobody's business. But after a while, and nowadays they start charging a very low subscription fee. I think it's about 4 to 5 ringgit for you to continue to enjoy these benefits. You have the option of not subscribing, but obviously, you are not entitled to all these promotion and benefits and so on. So that's the model for Broku.com. And for Broku Capital, is we are offering innovative sort of financial solutions. So as I mentioned earlier, one of the solutions we are actually launching by next month is the marketing funds, or ads credit that we call them. And that's up to 20,000 per merchant. And later down the line, we would collaborate with sort of service providers to create funds, special funds to offer, financing in terms of working capital and growth stage funds. And these are just debt instruments where we can monetize in terms of, interest rate charges of up to something like 18% per annum. So just to give you an overview of the milestone and the future roadmap. So we started back in April 2023. We launched the first phase of Broku licensing program with a select group of 50 merchants. So by December of last year, we had already reached about 100 merchants at that point. And we just launched the second phase of the licensing program, which is at the 1,900. So I think at the moment we have already onboarded successfully about 20 to 30 merchants for the second phase. And basically all the merchants that have joined the first phase, we will be pushing them into the second phase, basically in stages. By next month, Broku Capital Services will go live. So that's when we start to offer the marketing funds or the ads credit service to these merchants. And we are on track to reach by the end of March about 200 merchants on the program. So by May, by the end of the second quarter of this year, we are looking to launch the listing platform, which is Broku.com. And by our target by the end of December, by the end of the year, is to reach at least 600 BLP merchants or Broku licensing program merchants at phase 3, and to reach at least 50,000 Broku.com merchants on the listing platform, and about 500,000 Broku.com active users. So, and also by the end of the year, we would also be launching what we call the Merchant Certification Program. And what this is basically an acknowledgement program, very much like if you've heard of this company like this Oyo. So Oyo is a company that serves the hospitality industry that's started in India. And what it is, they provided an ecosystem for sort of these small hotels, 3-star hotels and below, which are also, sort of underserved part of the sector. So Oyo provides them with a platform, which is called Oyo.com, and they provide them with all the training that is required, all the system that is needed to run a proper sort of hotel business. So if you notice, there are, even in KL and a lot of the big cities in Malaysia, you see a lot of these Oyo hotels around. But what a lot of people don't know is that Oyo does not own the hotel. It's owned by the entrepreneurs themselves, the owner of the hotel themselves. But because they provide them with all the system in return for, like a subscription fee, so they sort of co-brand, they put their branding onto the hotels. And this does several things. Number one is this co-branding exercise basically builds trust of that brand in the market. So when you see Oyo Hotel and you see a lot of these brands, the same brand around, that will instill a lot of trust in the consumer. So much along the same model, the merchant certification program is when when the merchant has undergone through the program, our program for over the last 12 months, basically we have essentially we will be able to upskill and upgrade their business to become more bankable and more investable. So, in terms of their knowledge, in terms of their literacy, and in terms of the whole operation of the company itself. So by the end of the program, we sort of certify these merchants by co-branding ourselves with the merchants. So you will start seeing a lot of, our branding going up on top of these restaurants. And what that does to a consumer is it tells them that the establishment has gone through the proper, business enhancement. They've gone through, their operations are done properly, much like, when you see certifications like, especially for the Muslims, like halal certification. So for Muslims, it gives them peace of mind that the food is, prepared in a certain manner. So in much the same way, this merchant certification program is intended to basically build trust and the consumer trust in the market for these merchants. So a bit on our financial forecast. So in the first quarter of this year, we target to reach 200 clients, which are paying still at the first phase and then 100 ringgit per month. So at that level, we are looking at a revenue level of just over 500,000 per month. In the second quarter, once we launch the second phase of the program, we are targeting to onboard around 300 restaurants or 300 merchants paying the second phase at 1,900 per month. And by the final quarter, the fourth quarter of this year, our target is to reach and onboard 600 merchants at the phase 3 of the program, which is the final stage, paying us 3,900 per month. So at that projection, we estimate or we project our revenue, our 2024 revenue at around 12 to 14 million, with a profit after tax about 4 million. And we expect or we project our growth to to be quite aggressive, starting from 60% on the second year, 2025, and tapering down to about 30% by 2028. So by 2028, we aim to reach about 5,000 restaurants on the program that will give us on average revenue of just over 250 million for the year at a profit after tax of 80 million per year. So we are quite confident in achieving these numbers solely on the fact that over the last 4 years, we have built the business and we've built quite a big following. We have served over 3,500 merchants and we have a database of over 50,000 F&B entrepreneurs that has gone through our program in one way or another. So for us, it's not really an issue of getting the market. We have already created the market as compared to a lot of other sort of startups out there. Usually they will create the product first, and then you go out to find the market fit, the product market fit. But for us, we've done it the other way around. We've created our market over the last 4 or 5 years, build our name, build our trust in the market, and now we are ready to deploy the solution or the program that will go back and serve this market. And in coming out with the platform itself, the ecosystem, we get a lot of feedback in terms of what these MSMEs are looking for, what kind of things are they looking for in order to run the business successfully. And these numbers that I'm talking about is just basically taking into consideration the Malaysian market. So in fact, our potential is rather huge when we look at, especially in Southeast Asia. So in Malaysia alone, the statistics says that there are over 350,000 F&B establishments, and these are official numbers, which means these are companies or businesses that are registered with Suruhanjaya Malaysia SSM. But in actual fact, and this is from our own experience, there are many micro enterprise level especially, there are many entrepreneurs who are not even registered officially. So we've forecast that actually the number of F&B establishments in Malaysia to be closer to at least 500 to 600,000. And if you look at our neighboring countries, especially Indonesia, their official number of F&B MSMEs, F&B-based MSMEs, are over 1.5 million, and in Thailand, over 500,000. So the potential for our solution is huge. And in fact, ourselves, we plan to expand to other markets as early as the 3rd or 4th quarter by this year. So we already have plans to open up a market in Indonesia. In fact, we have our team that are doing the groundwork over there at the moment, doing some research on the market. And we plan to expand immediately by the end of the year to Indonesia and perhaps to Thailand and followed by Singapore as well. And we plan to do it the same way how we did it in Malaysia, which is to offer, sort of seminar programs and training programs just to get our feet to find our feet in the market and to build our name before actually plugging the Broku platform onto the market. So immediately, actually, if you look around the region and in Malaysia, there is no such solution, such as a solution that we offer. Of course, there are entities that offer sort of the different components separately. For example, on the financial services provided to MSMEs, we have people like financial funding societies, if you're familiar with that offers financial funding to MSMEs. And you even have government-linked agencies such as Tekon that is mandated to provide funding services to small companies. But none of them, look at improving the financial literacy of these companies. So for us, this is an important factor, because without knowledge on how to manage the finances, without the finance literacy that is needed, basically we're going to face the same problems over and over again, where all these micro enterprises, especially small businesses, without the proper knowledge to how to use the funds that they get, sort of efficiently and effectively, they will probably spend it on things that are not necessary to the growth of the business. So for us, it's not enough to just provide them with that facility. It has to come in hand with the knowledge. We have to enhance their knowledge. We have to enhance their capacity in order for them to use these funding sufficiently and effectively. So we are looking to raise up to about 20 million, which is on the via pitchIN platform. And this is for basically for marketing, for the merchant acquisition, technology enhancement, and basically to enhance the capacity of our team for the next 6 to 8 months. So at the moment, as mentioned, we have about 50 people in the company right now. And our capacity at the moment is we are able to handle up to 200 merchants that are coming onto the program in the next 1 or 2 months. So we need to build our capacity in the coming months in order for us to be able to handle the 300, 400, up to the 600 merchants on the program. And that's in terms of the, the customer service portion of it, on the tracking and monitoring, and in terms of providing the marketing services that I mentioned earlier. So once they move to the second and third phase, we will be providing, our own team will be providing the marketing services, doing the marketing campaigns for them. So we need to build that capacity on that. We need to get more online digital experts. We need to get more content creators, more designers to be able to handle that. So in exchange for up to 28.9% of redeemable preference shares, that's actually Islamic redeemable preference shares. So we are actually one of the very few companies that are shariah compliant on pitchIN platforms. And this is based on our current valuation of the company at 49 million. And this is done by a third-party appraisal. And these funds, as I mentioned, will be utilized mainly to grow and to scale up the program. So at the moment, we have 120 merchants on the program. And based on the data that we have collected and based on our capacity, we are ready to scale up this whole program, as I mentioned, up to 600 merchants by the end of the year. So up to 75% actually will be used for that. So 50% of merchant acquisition, another 20% of program support and expansion, and about 5% to complete our technology infrastructure, which is Boku.com. We also at the same time building our own POS system and payment gateway, which is essential to the success of the program, because that will basically all the data points will come in through via that platform. And 25% will be going to build the capacity of the business of the company in terms of hiring, digital marketers, IT managers of that sort, and 15% will go into the working capital of the company over the next 6 to 8 months. And what we offer for the investment, and all this information you can find on the pitchIN website. So our minimum target that we are raising for this campaign is 5 million, the maximum target of just under 20 million. And let's see, the minimum investment is 1 lot, which is equal to 50 shares at a valuation of 49 million. And that comes up to minimum investment of 2,450. That's minimum investment block. And for this, for the RPS, the redeemable preference share, we offer dividends over 5 years, which is the redemption period. So from year 2 onwards, from year 2, we offer 12% of the profit after tax dividend. And from year 3 to year 4 and year 5, we are offering 10%. For year 1, I know there will be questions on that. For year 1, we are not committing to offer the dividend, simply for the fact that we consider year 1 being our development year. And it's essential that we reach the KPIs being set up for that for the year 1. But that is not to say that we will not offer dividend. It's just that we are not committing the value or the amount at this stage. So by the end of the first year, 2024, you know, if everything goes to plan, we will, you know, if we have a positive profit after tax, we will make an announcement on the amount of dividend that we will offer in year 1. So redemption event, like I said, is after 5 years. And at the redemption event, we will purchase all the shares back at the issue price plus 12% premium on that. So if you calculate over the 5 years on average, the ROI, the return would be around just under 10% at 54% per year. So that works out to be around just over 9% ROI per year. So right now we are still out in our pre-live stage. And at pre-live, we are offering some early bird offers, some bonus shares, as you can see. So for those interested in investing, from 2 lots and above, we offer a 2% bonus share. Right up to, if you are coming in at 50 lots or more, we offer up to 10% bonus shares. And that's on a limited time. I think we are running this until probably the middle of March, if I'm not mistaken. So all this information, again, I'm just going to run through it very fast because you can find it all on our pitchIN website. So just to tell you a little bit about our team. So we feel that we are best positioned, well positioned, and well equipped to deliver this project. We have set up a very capable team. So our founder is Broku, who is a marketing and branding expert, over 20 years experience in various businesses. He's also a social media influencer. Our chairman is Dr. Afifi Al-Akiti, who is a fellow, the only Malaysian fellow in Oxford Center of Islamic Studies. So we have Halinda Halim, which is our senior vice president, with 15 years experience in corporate law and expertise in compliance and legal, as well as online marketing media strategies. I myself I have 20 years in the hospitality industry, and I've worked with a lot of the big F&B companies, especially the big hotels, and I'm also a KKM and HRE Corp certified trainer. So we have Mahyudin, who has over 20 years experience in digital production, TV production, film and drama production. He's been attached with various TV stations, with Astro, with TV Al Hijra, and a few others. And we have Easy, which is our creative expert, 15 years experience in the creative industry in terms of creating online marketing campaigns, offline marketing campaigns, and with in video production as well. So we are well equipped, as we said, to serve the industry. And over the last 4 years, we've built ourselves quite a following in the market. We have over 200,000 following on various platforms, on Facebook and IG, on TikTok, and so on. We have served for just under 3,500 companies. and with a database of over 50,000 entrepreneurs that we've guided and that's gone through our program from one way or another, and we have collective experience industry of over 60 years. So actually, if you are supporting our company, is not just about supporting one company, but in fact, you will be supporting hundreds and thousands of our local MSMEs to upgrade their business and to help in terms of the economic development in our country. So with that, if you are interested, you can scan this code to get to our page. In fact, I can probably just quickly share you. Let me just stop this one. Quickly share you our page on pitchIN if you've not seen it. So this is, sorry. Yeah, can you guys see that or no?
Not yet, Nisran.
Oh,
Yep.
sorry. Let me share that again. Okay. Yeah, so this is our page on pitchIN. So all the information is there. So we're raising a minimum of 5 million up to just under 20 million. So like as I mentioned, we are Sharia compliant. So if you're interested, you can go ahead and log on to our onto pitchIN platform and hit the reserve your investment button. And like I said, if you have any questions, let's see whether you have, or there's some questions that we have. Should I go ahead and answer some of these questions? Yue?
Yeah. Okay. Nisran. So I'll read the questions to you, and you will answer
Okay.
the questions now
All
lah.
right.
Okay. So thank you for the pitch, firstly, and also for those of you who have any questions, feel free to drop your questions in the comment section below. And also, Nisran. So the first question is, any specific reason why F&B industry specifically, and also do you have any plans to expand to other industries as well?
Okay, thank you. Good question. Actually, when we started back in about 2018, we started doing seminar programs and training programs for entrepreneurs in general. So from any industry, from any sector. So few things we found out. Number one is actually with the entrepreneurs that has gone through our program. In fact, a large portion of them, I think more than 70% of them were F&B based companies. That's number one. And secondly is the reason why we focus on F&B is because F&B business is a little bit, I would say it's a little bit more challenging than, say, a retail consumer product business, in the sense that, I'm quite sure if any of you have any experience in F&B business. F&B is a business where you would have to, produce your product on a daily basis. So compare that to, for example, a fashion business, or if you're selling shoes, you would be, most likely be purchasing a stock of shoes directly, either from the factory or from a supplier or wholesaler and so on. So essentially your focus after that would be just on your marketing and how on your selling of the product. But for the F&B business, it's a little bit challenging because, like I said, you're producing your food. What is your product? Your food and your beverage, and you would have to be producing this on a daily basis. So the challenge is to be able to produce your product consistently every day, every day of the week. So and when you have challenges, for example, like if you don't have the proper operational skills or production skills to produce these products, this is where a lot of the small businesses especially get into trouble, because they have problems maintaining the consistency. And then, like I said, most of these small micro enterprises, most likely the owners themselves are running the business. Either they are cooking the food, or they are the cashier, or something like that. So they would have to be skilled in sort of every single thing, and they will have to do their own marketing. And as I mentioned, F&B business is a very competitive business, especially after the COVID pandemic. A lot of people are jumping into the F&B business, because sort of, I think, they think that the barrier to entry is very low. As long as you can cook food, you can open a business. But it's far from that, actually. It's far from that. And this is actually the reason why we are focusing on the F&B industry, because in terms of the micro enterprises, so just now I mentioned the data that up to over 900,000 businesses, establishments in Malaysia are actually micro enterprise. And half of that, just under half of that, 48%, I believe, are F&B micro enterprises. So that's a large portion. So that's why we dedicate a lot of our resources in helping these F&B companies, because these are the companies that actually provide a lot of jobs and a lot of well-being to a lot of us Malaysians. So that's the reason, because they are facing a lot of challenges and they need a lot of help in terms of how to run their business successfully, effectively, and so on. On the second part of, do we plan to open up to other industries? Yes, well, certain portions of the Broku platform component can be used by other industries. So, for example, the Broku.com platform is a dedicated platform for F&B. Right? So any F&B business related, even if you are a business operating from home, you can participate in that platform, you can list in that platform. But for example, on the Broku Capital part of the business, the financial services part, that would be, we probably be able to open up to not just F&B merchants, that services can be opened up to other MSMEs from other industries as well.
Okay, that was a really detailed explanation.
Yeah.
And so the next question we have is, when you expand, can you handle all the new restaurants wanting your help? And how will you make sure everyone gets the support they need?
Right. So again, that is what I was talking about, building our capacity. So at the moment, as I mentioned, we have 50 people in our team, and about more than half of them are basically engaged into running the program. So we have our digital marketers, we have our support side, our customer service side that is dedicated to running the program. So on average, at the moment, just to give you a better picture, so we assign for every merchant, every restaurant, or every business that comes onto the program, we assign them with one business manager, as well as one sort of online marketer for each restaurant. So each business manager and each marketing guy will be able to handle up to 20 merchants. So that is like the maximum, and we've tested this out. So any more than that, they will not be able to handle. So at the moment we have 120 merchants. So we have about 5 business managers to be able to handle that. So like I said, our capacity is up to about 150 to 200 restaurants. So this is why we are doing this fundraising. Most importantly is, like I said, our problem is not getting these merchants to come on board. That's the least of our problem. So at the moment, it's just building the capacity gap before we open the floodgate for these merchants to come onto the platform. So as we speak, we have a queue of merchants wanting to come onto the program. And for us, it's just releasing, bringing them in, onboarding them stage by stage, as and when we are able to build our team up to be able to handle them, because we don't want to bring in all these. The last thing we want to do is bring in all these merchants, but we are not able to service them, and we are not able to handle them. So we're taking it in stages.
Okay. And also, a viewer asks, you are competing with bigger players like Grab and Foodpanda. How do you plan to capture the market share?
Okay, fantastic question. Right. So Grab and Foodpanda, what is the essential service that they provide? So like I mentioned, I mean, to a certain extent, Grab and Foodpanda and other platforms, delivery platforms, they are this sort of a listing platform, right? They list a lot of restaurants down there. But think about it. When do we go? When do we go on Grab, for example? We only go on Grab when we need to have food delivered to us, right? So they concentrate on one vertical, which is having the product delivered to you. I'm quite sure there is a very small number of people that actually go onto Grab to find out where to eat. So for example, you're traveling to Penang, I don't foresee anyone going on Grab to find out, okay, where shall I eat in Penang, for example. Most likely, so like I said just now, over 85% of consumers, when they want to find places to eat, they will go online to search. And most of them at the moment, Google. They go on Google to Google, okay, food in Penang. But Google is a search engine, so you will be served with the information, but it's just a listing platform. And it's a one-way communication, basically. So you get a whole list, a bunch of restaurants that you have to go in and look at for it yourself. You have no idea of the quality of the restaurant, of the merchants and things like that. Of course, you can base it on the reviews and stuff, but Broku.com is a listing platform that is specifically focused on F&B merchants. That's number one. So we will consolidate. The aim is to list all the restaurants in Malaysia. So we want to be the go-to platform for F&B. So think about it. At the moment, if you want to travel, who do you go to? You go to Agoda, you go to Booking, one or two others, right? You want to buy a car, you go to, like I said, Carsome or one or two other platforms. But when you go and you want to find a place to eat, there are not that many platforms except for, like I mentioned, Google and all that. So we see that the opportunity there, we see that gap there. And in terms of getting the market share, we're not worried about that, because from the ecosystem, the platform that we're offering with the three components. So Grab, doesn't provide for example, the licensing program, which is the training module. They don't it's not they don't upskill the entrepreneurs. So it's just a listing avenue, and like I said, they offer one vertical of the solution. So we are not really competing, to say the least, on Grab. So they provide the services, the delivery services, but on our side, it's much more than that. It's much more than that. So, like I said, we will have all the marketing tools, marketing strategies. There's 15 marketing strategies you want to employ. And on the consumer side, the benefit is for them to be able to enjoy, first of all, is a centralized platform for them to find places interesting places to eat, that they know quality control, that they know are operating, properly, in terms of the service side has been trained, the operation side has been trained, that's probably employing, charging a proper pricing and things like that. So that's what we ensure the consumers.
Okay, thank you for the answer. And also, we have a viewer who would like to thank you for your presentation, but also have a few questions to ask. So
Yes.
The first question he asked is, he missed a bit of the slides about Broku Finance regarding the 5 to 7%. And also, this is your equity in the restaurant in exchange for microloan?
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't mention about this part. Now, at this stage, as I mentioned, over the whole of last year, we ran a proof of concept stage for this program. And in fact, when we started off, we started with this revenue sharing model, because essentially that is the model that we want to use. And it is a model being used by, as earlier I mentioned, Oyo Hotel program. That's what they do with the hotels. They provide them all the systems, and the hotels revenue share with them. Essentially, this is a model that we want to use. But when we started the program last year, and we used this model, we face a few challenges. Number one is in terms of getting the data itself. So what are we revenue sharing? What are we sharing on, which is their revenue? So essentially, we need to be able to track the revenue, right? So a lot of these micro enterprises, you'll be surprised, a significant number of them are not using any technology platforms like POS systems. A lot of them not even using proper POS systems. They're using, some of them are using those Casio type of POS systems, and a lot of them don't even use a proper POS. So for us, it was going to be a challenge, because remember, our main target market are these micro enterprises at this point in time. So we face a challenge in getting that data, right? So at the end of the month, when we want to go and collect the data, it's a manual process, and we have to take their word for the for that. So at the moment we decided that it is not the correct time to use this business model. So when we switch from this revenue sharing model to a more fixed payment, a monthly fixed payment of starting at 900, a lot of these challenges were solved, and these merchants were a lot more open to the program, because of the fixed fee. And on top of that, how we collect this fixed fee is not manually. We use direct debit. So we are signed up with Collect, the direct debit payment mechanism. So basically, and we collect the payment every day. So every day we collect this. So the fee that I'm paying right now is 900 per month. And you'll be surprised. Comparatively in the market, there are other people also offering a similar business enhancement program, but we are the only one focused on F&B. So comparatively to other programs, we are on the very low end. A lot of the other programs are charging, north of 5,000. But for a lot of the micro enterprises, it's quite a substantial amount. But when we break it up to a daily payment, so 900 divided by 30 days, they're only paying about 30 ringgit a month. So when we collect 30 ringgit a month on a daily basis, it's a lot more feasible, a lot more easier for the merchants. But coming back to the question, our long-term plan is to come back to this revenue sharing model. So when do we want to do that? Once we reach the point where we have a certain market share we hold certain market share in the market, maybe in the next 2-3 years, and once we've built our trust in the market, once we build our brand and people trust us with the program, people trust with the product, we have a lot of success stories from merchants, then we will switch back. We will switch to that revenue sharing model. But again, that will probably be around 2 to 3 years down the line. So at the moment, the model that works is the fixed fee model. So it could be we are also looking at maybe a hybrid model later on. So part of it will be a fixed amount, and then a portion of it will be a revenue sharing amount. So something like that. We are also exploring that model.
Okay, that's a great answer. And also, he asked, can you explain again what's the difference between BLP 180 and also BLP 360?
Okay, that's simple. So that 180 and 360 are degrees. So BLP 180 degrees and BLP 360 degrees. Essentially, the difference is BLP 360 degrees is where we look at the business in totality, 360 degrees. So we provide you with the training, we provide you with the knowledge, we provide you with the all the systems, technology support that we need. We will also provide you with the marketing services, and on top of that, we'll provide you with the marketing funds if you need it. So BLP 180 is just the training portion and the monitoring portion plus marketing services. But the 360 is when we give you all that, and we give you the funds to do your marketing as a start. It's like a startup fund. So up to 20,000 based on your qualification. So how it works like this. So once you been in the program for like 12 months, 6 months, 12 months, we already have a lot of your data points, right? We have a lot of your data points in order for us to be able to come out to assess sort of your credit worthiness. We know how much you're making, and we know your cost structure and things like that. So with this data point, we are able to sort of come out with an alternative credit scoring system. You get what I mean? And like I said, the whole purpose of the program is to make all these merchants become more bankable and more investable. So by the end of it, you would be running your business professionally. So by that time, hopefully you would go from not having, zero credit worthiness to some sort of credit worthiness. So based on that, we will be able to provide you up to 20,000 in terms of the marketing funds, as well as the other products, the working capital funds and the growth stage funds. So that's the difference. It's just BLP 360. We also provide you with the ads credit or the marketing funds.
Okay.
And sorry, just to add, and nobody in the market does this, right? So a lot of companies provide marketing services. If you do Google online marketing services, you will get probably hundreds of companies that provide that. But nobody in the market does your marketing services for you. I mean, doing your content, doing your marketing campaign, and provide you with the budget as well.
Okay. And also for the last question we have today is, what is the minimum subscription period for the BLP and digital marketing?
So we lock them in for a minimum period of 12 months. 12 months. So it's renewable every 12 months. And so it's basically like this. We foresee that a very small number of restaurants, when it comes to it, doesn't renew. So F&B industry is such that in order for you to sustain in this business, because of such a high competition in the market, there's a lot more restaurants and cafes and food establishments out there compared to 5-10 years ago. Food merchants have to do marketing every day. You have to keep yourself relevant because consumers now have so many choices. And I mean, granted, nobody's going to eat at the same place every day, 30 days in a month. But if you don't keep yourselves relevant online, on the social media, then you lose out. Then you lose out to a lot of these consumers. So food establishments have to do marketing every single day. Yeah. So the aim is that, you know, once if you build your business up to a certain level and you say, okay, you've gone through it over the last 12 months, your business has gone from point A, and if you've grown X times to point B, and now you don't need us anymore. The moment you drop out from the program and you stop the marketing services, and you decide to do yourself, more often than not, you will go back to the level that you begin with. You know, to sustain in this business, you will have to do marketing every single day, especially online marketing and things like that. So that's what we've found over the last 4 or 5 years being in the industry.
Okay, I believe that's all the questions we have for tonight. If
Great.
you have any more questions after this webinar, feel free to go to Broku's campaign page and post any questions you may have in the Q&A section on your campaign page. You may check the campaign page link in the Zoom chat. Okay, just give me a second. Okay. Okay. And before we end the session, Nisran, do you have any final message for potential investors out there?
Yes, I do. So hopefully some of you guys will be interested to support us to invest in our project, because you know, the ROI for this type of project is not only dollars and cents. Of course, that's what we're looking for, profit and stuff like that. But the real ROI for us is the human impact of this whole project. Because like I said, you know, you're not just helping one company, but by helping and supporting and assisting our company, you are in effect supporting, assisting, and helping hundreds and thousands of MSMEs, micro enterprises, small companies out there, and in turn, you are supporting the 7 million people that will work for them. So you're supporting the livelihood of these people working for them, and we are together elevating the status of our local MSMEs. That's essentially who you are helping. So my final word is help us help them. And
Thank
with
you
that,
for that.
I thank you everyone for being here tonight. I know I said half an hour, but I've gone on for about an hour. So again, thank you everyone for listening to me tonight, and thank you for your time. Thank you for your consideration in our project, in our business, and I bid you good night, good evening.
Thank you for the message, Nisran, and also thank you to all of you who have tuned in and also for your questions.